Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for coming here to have interview with me. So I will ask several questions, so just answer as you can. The first question, please tell me about yourself.
Okay, so first question is tell me about myself. Okay, my full name is Princesa Fakira Ramadhani, or but I usually get called by Chesa by my friends, and also my parents also call me Chesa, so I prefer to get called by Chesa. And I am a student at Aiden Boarding School. Exactly, I am the ninth grade or of junior high school, and I was born in Martapura, or more exactly is 24 August 2009 in Martapura or Kalimantan Selatan. And my favorite things is I don't think I have favorite things, but I really like to play something with my friend. For for example, like playing games or just playing or hanging out with my friends. And for my favorite food, I really like street snack such as pancong, martabak, martabak telur, and a lot of street snacks that I like. And for my favorite things, I really like recipe and also Milo. My MBTI is ESFP, and I am an easygoing person, and I'm also an extrovert, I guess. And oh yeah, I also have a favorite animals, which is cat, or some animals that have a fear, such as rabbit, bunny, dogs. But sadly, we cannot uh, have dogs as a pet because it's not allowed in Islam. And I also like tiger, lion, bear, and yeah, much more.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. Next question is, do you ever become the trainer and where? Or do you have any program in a particular school maybe? Please tell me about that.
Okay, second question is do you ever become a trainer and where? I ever become a trainer, I think for 10 times as in IDN teaching. And for the first time is when I teach is when I was 7th grade. I'm teaching online and by the method that I then spread a poster promoting that I have I then teach, and I'm teaching how to make a website using a WordPress, free WordPress. It was like a website blog, and that was the first time I teach. And I think until now I have teach for 10 times, and I still have 4 upcoming teaching from Al Hazen. And for the second time, I think it's on 7th grade in second semester, or I think it was when I was 8th grade. I kind of forgot, but it was in SMK in San Mulia. I guess I go with Kak Rahel, and I teaching how to make a UI website, and I teach a VHS student, which is really fun. And for the third time that I teach is when I was teaching at SMP. I kind of forgot what is the name of the SMP, but I teach with Irene, and I was teaching make how to make a maze game on Scratch, and I'm teaching 7th grade student. And for the fourth time I teach, it was the most memorable teaching because I am teaching with my friends, which is Balkis and Rona. And it was the first time that we teach, but we are not going back to Aiden, but we uh, sleep on Balkis' house because we teach for 4 days from Monday until Thursday. And we are coming from Iden is when Sunday evening, I guess, and it was really fun, and I have a lot of experience when I was teaching out there because we are teaching a primary school student, which I have I need a lot of more patience to teaching them. And yeah, and I also need to control my emotion because a kid emotion cannot be controlled fully. So I need to control my emotion to not being kind of bad mood because of their things. So yeah, I need to be more patient, and it's kind of hard for me because I kind of hard to control my emotion. And for the fifth time is I also teach a primary school student, but because I also ever teach a primary student before with Balkis, so when I was teaching primary student for the second time, it was, yeah, I kind of got used to that, and it was really fun too because I really like primary school student. They were so cute, and yeah, uh, they are really fun. Yeah, I miss them, and I still have for upcoming identity, which is on Al Hazen. I teach poster.
Okay, thank you very much for the answers. And the next question, how much money do you get from the project that you have already made in ITN? Perhaps you have project and you have already earned money from that, maybe like teaching or doing something like that. Please tell me.
Okay, and the third question is how much money that I get from the projects that I've made at IDEN. I think for the total, I think it's only 500 from IDEN teaching, IDEN competition, and yeah, I think only that. But if it's combined with the money that we've got from IDEN activities such as EduRace, business survival, business IDEN business pass, I think it's kind of more than 1 million, I guess, because yeah, I'm not really counting on the money because yeah, I don't have the notes, and usually the money is saved by the teacher or people who get responsibility for that. So I don't know exactly how much money that I get from the project that I've made.
Okay, thank you very much for the answers. And the next question is, what is your opinion about IDN? Do you have something to say about IDN, maybe?
Uh, and what is my opinion about IDN? My opinion about IDN is a really cool school because it was my first time knowing that there's a school who only learn about IT. I mean, I've known school, but it was via us, not JHS. And I was shocked at first time because I don't know that I didn't only learn IT and not learning general subjects such as sociology, biology, math, or something like that. So it was confusing me at the first time because I came to IDEN not because of my wish that I want to go to IDEN, but it's because my father asked me to go to IDEN, and I was just like, oh yeah, I will go to IDEN. So I don't know that IDEN it was like this, and I was thinking that IDEN was a normal boarding school who learn general subjects and read Al-Quran all the time and like that. But the exact thing that happened that I didn't have a lot of fun activities and blowing mind activities such as at race. If the first time I saw a school having that activities is at IDN, like where we going to somewhere, but only bring a little money. That was my first time experience that, and it was also my first time have a activity such as business survival, IDN fast, and yeah, something like that. And I don't know if other school have that. And also identity is also a new experience that really useful for me because I could enhance my public speaking because when I was in primary school I never really have a good speaking because I am afraid of public attention, but at IDN we are trained to be more confident, and yeah, it kind of improved my public speaking.
Okay, for the next question, what is the most interesting experience during learning at ITN? Of course, when you study here, since 7th grade until the 9th grade, you have a lot of experience. So please tell me, what are the most interesting experience?
And the fifth question is, what is the most interesting experience at IDN? I think the most interesting experience is when I go to competition, and it was not a long time ago. I go to a competition which is a Quran competition, is a robotic competition. It was like the name is Kontes Robot Nusantara, and the participant is from international. So I wasn't expecting to win at first, and it's also my first time going to competition where we sleep for, I think we go out from Aden is like a week, because we go at Tuesday and we're going back to Aden at Monday, but on the next week. And on that time we are sleeping on the apartment, so we rent an apartment for 1 week, and then because we have two preparation before the competition is from the competition, and the rest of the day we make the project, and it was really interesting because we've not I think me and my friends haven't do a really good job because the time is really minimum, and we are really pessimistic about the project because we think that we couldn't win, because look at the other competitors that are really cool, and there's also an Indian participant, Brunei participant, Malaysia, Singapore, and a lot of other country. And yeah, I also don't have the thing that we will win. Alhamdulillah, we've got the third place, the bronze award, and yeah, it's really an interesting experience I have at IDEN. And I really want to experience that again.
Well, okay, now we are going to the last question. Any word for IDN? Perhaps you have like wish or prayer for IDN in the future, maybe. Please tell me.
And the last question is, any word for IDEN? Hopefully IDEN will be more successful in the future, and please upgrade more, and please accept our message, not message like that, but our, yeah, the problems that IDEN must be fixed. And I think IDEN was really cool, and please upgrade more so it became really cool, more cooler. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. You have answered all questions very well. I hope that you have a lot of experience in the future. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Dah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone. So in this presentation, I would like to present my dream country, which is Canada. Actually, I have a lot of country that is my dream, but one that I really want most is Canada. And why is it? Let's just begin to the presentation. Okay. So the table of contents of this presentation is, the first one is what is Canada. The second one is the history of Canada. The third one is the culinary of Canada. The fourth one is the culture of Canada. And the fifth one, products from Canada. And the sixth one is unique places in Canada. And the seventh one is fun facts about Canada. Okay, let's just start to the first slide, which is what is Canada. So Canada is a country in North America, and it's 10 provinces, and there are 3 territories extend from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, and northward into the Arctic Ocean. making it the world's second largest country by total area. With the world's longest coastline, its border with the United States is the world's longest international land border. And the capital of Canada is Ottawa, and the largest city in Canada is Toronto. Perhaps you guys know it. And the language is English and French. It was the official language in Canada. And then next, the history of Canada. The history of Canada covers the period from the arrival of the Paleo-Indians to North America thousands of years ago to the present day. The lands encompassing present-day Canada have been inhabited for millennia by indigenous people with distinct trade networks, spiritual beliefs, and styles of social organization. Some of these older civilizations had long faded by the time of the first European arrivals and have been discovered through archaeological investigations. By 1616, although the entire region was known as New France, the area along the Great River of Canada and the Gulf of St. Lawrence was still called Canada. Soon explorers and fur traders opened up territory to the west and to the south, and the area known as Canada grew. So this was the history of Canada, how the Canada was made. And next, to Canada's culinary. So I showed the three most popular culinary of Canada. The first one is bannock. Bannock is one of the satisfying quick breads steeped in Canadian history. Basic bannock is flour, water, and butter or lard that is shaped into a disc and baked, fried, or cooked over a fire until golden. And this was the image of bannock. And the second one is Hanoi bars. So Hanoi bars have a creamy custardy center is what sets Hanoi bars apart from the buttercream filled New York slice. Both have a smooth chocolate topping and a rich graham cracker crust. And this was the image of the Hanoi bars. And the third one is Saskatoon berries. Actually, Saskatoon was not like a culinary, but it was like a fruit that is originally invented from Canada. So Saskatoons were a main ingredient in pemmican, a dried meat dish that historically nourished First Nations peoples, voyagers, and explorers to the freezing winter months. Okay, that was the Canada's culinary. Then we next to the next slide, which is the culture of Canada. So the culture of Canada embodies the artistic, culinary, literary, humor, musical, political, and social elements that are representative of Canadians. Throughout Canada's history, its culture has been influenced firstly by its indigenous cultures and later by European culture and traditions, mostly by the British and French. Over time, elements of the cultures of Canada's immigrant populations have become incorporated to form a Canadian cultural mosaic. Certain segments of Canada's population have, to varying extents, also been influenced by American culture due to shared language in English-speaking Canada, significant media penetration, and geographic proximity. And that's for the culture of Canada. And next, products from Canada. So these are the 5 products that is invented from Canada. The first one is paint roller. So paint roller was invented around 1940 in Toronto by Norman Briquet, but he died before being able to patent his invention and profit from it. So the first paint roller patent was held by American Richard Croxton Adams. And next product, which is garbage bag. So the garbage bag was invented by Harry Washlake and Larry Hansen in Winnipeg in 1950. The green polyethylene garbage bag they invented was bought by Union Carbide, who sold the bags under the name Glad. And the third product, which is peanut butter. And for some people maybe guess peanut butter was invented by American, but it wasn't. Rather, It was created in 1884 by Canadian pharmacist Marcellus Gilmore Edson, who likened the consistency of his product to that of butter, lard, or ointment. And for the fourth products is road lines. So the first road lines in the world were painted on a stretch of highway between Ontario and Quebec in 1913, having been invented by Ontario Department of Transport engineer John D. Miller, painting lines on roads. So the first road line was also invented in Canada. And the last product that was invented by Canada is pager. So pager was invented by Alfred G. Gross, a Toronto-based wireless communications pioneer in 1949. Gross is also even credited as the inventor of the walkie-talkie, a distinction he sometimes shared with his fellow Canadian Donald Hines. And next slide, which is unique place in Canada. So the first one is Haida Gwaii. So one of the most stunning places to visit in British Columbia is Haida Gwaii. Home to the Haida people has much to offer for wilderness lovers and adventure seekers. Hiking, biking, caving, ziplining, wildlife viewing, sailing, fishing, and surfing are just some of the activities offered in the archipelago, previously known as the Queen Charlotte Islands. And there are the art galleries and the ancient totem poles to take in when visiting this hidden treasure. And next unique places, which is Parkland Region, Manitoba. And another lesser known travel destination in Canada is the Parkland region, which is home to several lakes, rivers, woodlands, and the highest mountain in Manitoba, making it a prime spot for lovers of the great outdoors, which is farming communities and historic sites. It also caters to foodies and history buffs. And the last unique places in Canada is Athabasca Sand Dunes Provincial Park, Saskatchewan, and it was a beautiful hidden place in Canada. The fasting fields along the southern shore of Lake Athabasca are among the most northerly in the world and are home to several species that you won't find anywhere else. And the only way to get here is by floatplane. And some fun facts about Canada. So the first one, Canada is a monarchy, and the second one is there are two official languages in Canada. The third one is Canada is the world's second largest country. The fourth one is Canada has the longest coastline in the world. And the fifth one is Canada also has the longest international border. And the sixth, Canadians love mac and cheese. 7, lacrosse is the national sport of Canada. The eighth one is Canada's national animal is actually a beaver. And 9, there was a war in Canada called the Beaver War. And 10, Quebec is the only walled city in the North America. And I think that's all from me. Thank you all for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, so in this presentation, I would like to present my projects, which is from science when I was in 7th grade until now, which is 9th grade. And I made this presentation for my final project, English video. Okay, let's just begin to the first slide, which is about me. Okay, hello all. My name is Princesa Fakira Ramadhani, but I usually get called as Jessa. And I am a 9th grade student from Aiden Boarding School, Ahwat, of course. And I was born in Martapura, to be exact, on 24 August 2009. But right now, currently I live in Cibubur. And some facts about me is that I really like cats, and I am an easygoing person. My MBTI is ESTP. And the next slide. My experiences while I was in IDN. So the first one, my experience at IDN magazine. So I have become the head of magazine, but I forgot what fall yeah, then I've experienced to become the vice head of IDEN magazine. Also, and in student council, I've experienced to become the vice president and also the president. And in IDEN podcast, I've experienced to become the first speaker at IDEN podcast. And also in IDEN Weekend English Talk, I was also became the first host of Weekend English Talk. And when IDEN Fest, I also became the MC of IDEN Festival 2022. And in the class, I've become the class vice president in 8th grade and also become the class responsible in 8th grade. And I've become a committee of the web developer of IconFest 2022. And in IDEN Teach, I've teach several times, which the first one is I teach maze game at SMK Al-Ansor. And I teaches UI web at SMK Ihsan Mulia. And fourth, I teaches Scratch games at SDIT Ruhama. And the fifth one, I teaches basic Google at SDIT Al Amanah. And the fifth one, I teaches poster at Al Hazan. And the sixth one, I teaches website, which is online. And then next, I would like to show my projects from several subjects, which is the first one is game, and game is using two software, which is Scratch and Buildbox, and this is the lesson that we've studied in 7th grade. And also websites project, which is using WordPress, and it's also a lesson at 7th grade. And then the third project, which is design, is using Figma, Inkscape, GIMP, and Spline, and Tinkercad, and I think there's a lot of stuff again, like Canva and others. And it was a subject that we've learned at 8th grade. And the fourth subject is, which is embedded. We are using Microbit, Arduino, and etc. For I think that we've used Pictoblocks, KVID. We are also using Tinkercad and much more. And when Android, which is the lesson that I study now, which on my current class, 9th grade, is Codula. It's using Codular and Android Studio. And these were my skills at game, website, design, embedded system, and Android. And which is my perspective. Yeah. And then next, the first project, which is game. So games are a lesson that I studied in 7th grade. And in this game lesson, I made quite a lot of projects, starting from Scratch projects and Buildbox projects. And these are some of the results of my Buildbox projects. And I've only input my Buildbox projects because some of my favorites is from Buildbox. So the first is Crossing Road. So it's like a game that we need to save the box from the obstacle, which is the which we need to lead the box to the finish line. And it has several levels until the really last level. And then next project, which is Fishing Ball, it's also I made in Buildbox, and it's a game where we need to collect the point by collecting a meteor and also avoiding the obstacle, which is some like bomb, and collecting the point until we have a lot of point. And then the last one is my final project, which is the project that we've made by ourselves. I made a Flappy Bird game, which is this one. Yeah, it needs to also avoiding the obstacle like the bamboo, and it's like a maze game, and the checkpoint is the peanut one. Okay. Next, which is website project. So websites are also lessons that I studied in 7th grade, and in this website lesson, I also made quite a lot of projects, and the projects that we made is using WordPress software. And the first project that I've made in website subject is Moscow website, which is this one. It's using WordPress software, and these are my blog. Is the website that I've made when I've made by myself, It's using WordPress free site. And then next, these are some of my projects. This is the portfolio, which is my final project when I was in first semester in 7th grade. And this was the final project when I was in 7th grade too, but in second semester. And this is the second project of website. And this is my blog. Yeah. And then the third project, which is design. So design is a lesson that I studied in 8th grade, and this lesson is probably the one that is really needed because we can use design in many things. And in design lesson, I made quite a lot of projects such as posters, illustrations, motion video, task masking, UI, 3D, and much more. And I'll show you some of my design projects. So for the one that is over here, it was my first design project, which is poster dakwah. And I've made some illustrations for the hijabi girl, the bee, the flowers, the grass, and yeah. So it was my very first project design. And then next, I have these two posters, which is Salat Duha posters and the Hadis poster. Actually, it was not in the design lesson, but this project was in Diniyah lesson. But because it was poster, so of course we use design method. So yeah, this is my project. And next, this is also my project. This one is poster infographic, the second SKL from 8th grade. And this one is also a Diniyah poster, which is Salat Fikih. Then I made it on 8th grade. This is also from 8th grade. Yeah. Then next project, which is embedded system. So embedded system is a lesson in class 8, and this lesson seems to be my favorite lesson at IDN. And I also made several projects in this lesson and participated in competitions that are related to embedded systems. So for this pics is the wiring that we've made at embedded system subject. So this is the disaster alarm. I guess it was still using microbit over here, and it's using MHQ. It's also using an infrared sensor. And this one is a fire detection, I guess. And yeah. And next, these are my other projects. This one is still a wiring of the project that we've made. This is also wiring, and this one is the project that I've made for a competition, which is called Crown Competition. And we've made like a tech or like a clinic, which it works that we just put our hand inside of the slot, and the medicine that we want, it will come out. Then also I have made a final project, which is vending machine. I've made it by my friends. I forgot who is it. Okay, and then next project, which is Android. So Android is a lesson that we study in class 9, which is my current class now. And in this Android lesson, we learn to make applications such as name cards, radio, and other applications. And we use two software, which is Codeler based on block code and Android Studio based on Kotlin code. So this poster is the first app that I've made in Codeler, which is name card. So inside this name card is an application where we put our biodata, our socials, our things that we want to share to people. Over here, I put my biodata, my socials, my short article about me, gallery, and also button. If we click it, it will show. It will play sounds of a cat. And then next is a calculation app. I think this was the very last project that we made at Codeler, and this works at. It was like a calculator app, but we could also calculate a shapes and geometry. So yeah. And then next, these are my other RAS application that I've made in Codeler. This is Radio Online app, which is in this app we could listen to a kajian or some murotal, also some Nasheed based on the app. And then there is Talk You, which is Talk to Me app. This is a text converter app that we've made. And then the last one, the project in Kodular, is Find My Age. This was the app that we just insert our age, and this app will calculate our age, so we get to what type of age, for example, a child, a teen, or an adult. And then the last project that we've made in 9th grade is Pitakwa app, which is we've studied now. And Pitakwa app is like a Muslims app that we could check the schedule of prayer, we could calculate the charity, and also a lot of other things. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you all for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.